Right now on Denver 7 News at 5 o'clock, Boulder will pause this week to remember the 10 people killed at the Table Mesa King Soopers, and a local artist is doing her part to help.
This is my neighborhood. This was important for me to contribute to my community, to the healing process.
Now, 1 year after the tragedy, we're taking a closer look at how millions of dollars in donations are lifting up the community.
A Colorado mountain town is running out of water. In fact, it's a situation so dire, businesses are having to close.
Employees can't come to work, and then customers are very disappointed.
The temporary solutions the town is offering right now.
And a Ukrainian city seeing some of the worst attacks from Russian troops is not backing down. Mariupol leaders have turned down Russia's demand to surrender. Meanwhile, back here at home, a Colorado family is getting crafty to help others show their support for Ukraine. Kind of a spur-of-the-moment decision, but has had a deeper impact since they got started. Thanks for joining us on this Monday morning. I'm Brian Sanders.
And I'm Nicole Brady. It's the first full day of spring,
so
yes. That's something to celebrate. Of course, it's Colorado, so it's a wintry mix to kick off the week here in the weather.
Yeah, clear right now, but as we take a look from our mile-high camera, you can see the clouds hanging out overhead, and it will bring a couple of inches here to the metro and get a little cooler to start spring.
Yeah, we have our team tracking the changing conditions. Of course, Jason is going to let us know if this is going to affect traffic as it moves east to west to east, rather. Yeah.
Sure.
And Lisa? Sure. He'll do something. And Lisa, tell
He'll do something.
Yes.
It is, you're right, from west to east,
Yes.
gonna move it. Right now we're looking at mainly just cloud cover. It is a Denver 7 weather action day though, and take a look at radar. Down across parts of southern and southeastern Colorado, wet conditions now. We're starting to see some of that snow developing in through parts of Boulder, Larimer, even Jefferson counties, up and through Summit County too. We're gonna pick up a few inches of snow. Right now in Denver though, it's just cloud cover. You can see that here from our camera there at City Park. We're expecting some light snow to start developing here through the early morning. So during our morning show, we'll start to see a change. 33 degrees, just above freezing right now in Denver. It feels like 21 though, and there's just not going to be much of a warm up. At least when spring started, we had highs well into the 60s yesterday. Now for the first full day of it, we're going to see highs in the 30s. Again, this does not look like heavy snow, but it is going to be cold and blustery. The winds are really going to kick up here in the next 24 to 48 hours. We'll be back in the 60s though, Jason, by the end of the week. We'll take a closer look at that coming up, and I'll show you our potential snowfall totals here in just a few minutes.
And right now it looks dry across Metro Denver, even up into the foothills for now. This is the camera there at Genesee, and you can see it looks pretty good. I have seen some light snow up near Estes Park, Highway 7 getting pretty wet. So there are going to be some areas affected by this snow, as Lisa's been talking about. It's just right at the moment we look pretty nice. Take a look at the overall map, and you see pretty much all green. There was a report of a crash around I-76 in Pecos. I haven't seen that yet this morning. There was also one reported on I-225 near Alameda. From that camera here this morning, you can see actually it's the southbound side looks okay, northbound looks okay, but a little bit farther south, as you see again on the map, we do have a closure here of that westbound side of Iliff going all the way over to Peoria from 225. There's a waterline break happening there, so either Yale just to the south or Mississippi just to the north can get you around it pretty easily.
As this storm continues through the morning, you can get 24/7 updates. Just download the free Denver 7 Plus app on your favorite streaming device.
Well, the mountain town of Empire, just west of Idaho Springs, is facing a dire situation right now. It might be running out of water. Denver 7's Christian Lopez joins us live this morning because, Christian, the town is doing its best with just workarounds right now, but it's put businesses in a tight spot. A lot of people are passing through for spring break.
Yeah, that's right. This weekend, people reported having little to no water, and this is causing businesses to have to shut their doors. We spoke with the town's mayor, Wendy Cook, who says that this is being caused by several different reasons. She says it's because of a partially frozen lake, a possible leak, and also a broken well. And right now the town has also issued a boil water advisory, so people should boil their water for 3 minutes for the time being, or use bottled water for things like drinking, cooking, and brushing their teeth. There's also a water tanker behind Town Hall where people can pick up water as long as needed. But it's a very stressful time for everyone and for businesses having to turn customers away.
I'm trying to make the best light of it, but anytime you have to shut your business down, it hurts financially. Employees can't come to work. and then customers are very disappointed.
It might be a little inconvenient for a few days. And for that, I apologize profusely, but in my heart of hearts, I can't see that we could have done anything that we haven't already done to try and head it off.
And Mayor Wendy Cook says that the new parts for the town's well should be arriving today, but it still could be about a week before it's up and running again. And it could be about a month before the town has fully running water again. And in the meantime, they are also going to continue investigating that possible water leak. I'm Christian Lopez, Denver 7.
Thank you, Christian. The man who live streamed the Boulder King Soopers shooting from outside the grocery store will face trial this summer. Dean Schiller faces obstruction charges. According to court documents, in a time frame of over 90 minutes, Schiller ignored about 60 different requests from police to leave the crime scene. Schiller claimed he was a journalist but refused to go to the media staging area. His trial is set for August 2nd.
Meanwhile, tomorrow, Boulder will mark 1 year since the tragic shooting. 10 people were killed on March 22nd last year. The Table Mesa store will be closed starting tonight until Wednesday morning. The store has already undergone a major redesign, including a mural at the entrance created by a local artist. Lael Har says the project was a way for her to confront her own grief from that painful day.
For me, once I finish a painting and it's hanging and it's appreciated, it's no longer my painting. It's now appreciated and part of the community. So it's hopefully continues to gift the community for what it's meant.
Meanwhile, all King Soopers and City Market stores will pause for a moment of silence at 2:30 tomorrow to honor the victims. Denver 7 will have live team coverage of the Remembrance Day on air on our website, thedenverchannel.com, and on the Denver 7 Plus app. Meanwhile, people donated more than $6.5 million after the shooting, and our partners at the Denver Post are taking a closer look at how that money was used. Most of it is going to the families of the 10 victims. Donations went to two groups. The Colorado Healing Fund collected more than $4.7 million. It has distributed all but $570,000 to other nonprofits, including more than $3 million for the victims and the victims' families. And the Community Foundation collected more than $1.7 million. It has distributed all of its money to other nonprofits, including $957,000 intended for the victims. Both groups also gave sizable donations to the Boulder Strong Resource Center, a nonprofit offering counseling and other mental health services.
This week, President Biden will go to Europe for urgent talks with NATO and European allies over the Russia-Ukraine war. On Thursday, Biden will travel to Brussels, then to Poland. He plans to discuss the growing humanitarian crisis. According to the UN, at least 10 million people in Ukraine have been forced out of their homes. This morning, Ukrainian leaders and troops in Mariupol are refusing to give in to Russia's demands to surrender the city. Russia had offered civilians safe passage out if they surrendered. Around 300,000 people are believed to be trapped in Mariupol, and supplies there are running out. Russia has blocked any aid from entering. Ukrainian officials are accusing Russian troops of forcibly deporting Ukrainians to Russia. The U.S. has not yet confirmed whether or not that's actually happening. A Denver family is showing its support and helping others show support for the people of Ukraine.
They just launched a fundraiser, and many people in the community have already joined in to help. The McFarland family recently went to buy a Ukrainian flag to show their support, but at checkout they were told this was the last flag the store had. So the family decided to start making their own Ukrainian flags out of wood pallets and sell them to charities.
It's tough to see the kids and what they're going through. It's hard not to get emotional. I just think about my daughter, sorry, and what would happen, if we were in that situation, getting her and my wife out of the country and me having to stay behind. It's tough to think about what that would be like.
So money raised will go to the International Rescue Committee to help Ukrainian refugees and to book rooms at Airbnb with no intent to stay at the places in Ukraine, but that money would go directly to those stuck in the war zone. The minimum donation for a flag is $25. We have a link on thedenverchannel.com. Spring is officially here and outdoor concert season is coming soon, but the Better Business Bureau has a warning if you're getting tickets from someone you don't know. Plus,
I'm Joe St. George on Capitol Hill. Confirmation hearings for Judge Jackson are set to begin this week. What do you need to know ahead of the very public questioning? We go in depth next.